Hi there. So today we're going to be talking about the CineTreak Stream 1 video mixer. Now I've been using this video mixer for a few weeks now. I've actually used this to upload videos, and I'm going to let you know why I'm going to use this as my permanent video mixer. In other words, it isn't something I'm just reviewing and I'm just going to move on to something different. This is going to stay here until I see something that is truly game-changing to replace it. Now, why do I like this video mixer so much? Well, if that's got your curiosity piqued, keep watching, because you're watching Blue Collar Guy. Okay, we're back. So today we're talking about the CineTreak S1, and they also make different versions of this. They make ones for SDI output, but I'm going to show you what I think you would use it for as a YouTuber. And I'm also going to show you that it's not so intimidating as it looks, because when you look at one of these, they have a lot of dials, a lot of buttons, and a lot of inputs on them. And I'm going to show you how to get past all of that and really use one of these, because they can cut down your editing by sometimes 75%. I know, it's up to you. Like, if you can speak all of your lines in a one shot, where let's say you don't have to do a lot of retakes, you could really get through your videos fast with one of these. And I'm going to go to the downward shot and I'm going to show you what it looks like. But I got my headphones on because, can you hear that? That's some background music that I'm actually feeding in to the video switcher. I'm live streaming the background music in there now. So this is kind of a demonstration of what a live stream would look like, because you can't add music in post when you're live streaming, right? But I can do it. And that is one of the advantages of one of these switchers. So let's check out what this thing looks like, because I've already got it out of the box. I've got it hooked up. I've been using it and I've edited videos with it already, so I wanted to make sure that this was a good product before I did a review on it, because if it wasn't, I was going to put it back in the box and I was going to send it back to CineTreak. But I'm here to tell you, it outperforms my OC Go Stream, and I'm going to show you why that is and why this is probably a bigger bang for your buck than the OC. So we're going to go to the downward shot. I'm just going to move these remotes out of the way, and I'm going to move this here. I have to be very careful because everything is connected. Now I'm also doing a backup recording with the Cloner Alliance Box Pro Pocket. And I'm backup recording right to a micro SD card, and this is just in case the internal card on here gets corrupted. So if you're one of those people who says, well, I like to have dual card slots, well, this is how you get around that. You just go from the program out into here, and that's it. It'll give you your final edit. So I'm going to show you that when I add a picture-in-picture, see, it shows up in here. And then if I add another one, it shows up there in the corner. So if you want to go back to me, for instance, and then I put these here, whoops, wrong one, and I go here, there we go. So right now, you're looking at 3 camera angles at the same time. Could you imagine trying to do that in post? Because you'd have to use overlays, and then you would have to either mute the audio on some of them, or all of them except for one, or you would have to use either time code or other forms of software editing to line up your audio so that it matches your video. With a video switcher, you don't have to do any of that. You simply plug in all of your cameras. You have them all on HDMI out or clean HDMI. That means that, so on my Sony that I'm looking into right now, I don't want to see all of the settings menu. I just want what the camera sees. so I don't want to see what my ISO and all those other numbers look like. So I just turn it on to clean HDMI, and then I feed it through the HDMI output directly into the video switcher. Now, this particular video switcher also can handle a webcam. That's right. So it has a webcam input, which actually gives it a total of 5 inputs. Yeah. Now, before I got this video switcher sent to me, and just to let you know, full disclosure, they did send me out this video mixer at no charge to myself. However, this is not a sponsored video. They did not pay for the production of this video. I'm not following a script, none of that. As a matter of fact, I have no affiliate links with the company. I have no paid affiliate links. I'm just reviewing the product, and they were nice enough to say, well, when you're done with it, you can keep it, and I'm going to use it because I only accept products that I actually will use myself. So this is what this costs. It's $532. This is Canadian dollars, okay? This is not American. This is Canadian, so it'll be cheaper in the United States, but it comes with an adapter. I believe it also comes with a USB-A cable to USB-A. So it has 2 picture-in-pictures. Why is that important? Well, right now you're looking at me, and you also have a different camera angle over here, so if I needed to talk into this camera while I was looking down here, I can. Now, when I show you the bottom, so you can also see the video switcher itself, and I'm going to make this screen bigger. So how do I do that? I'm going to click on this picture-in-picture button here, and I think it's this one. Yep, there we go. And I'm going to make it bigger. And it's just like this. See how I'm turning the dial? I'm doing all of this in one take. So we're expanding this, and I can make it quite large. So I can almost fill the whole screen. So you can't do this with the O screen. Like you can't, like look how I'm moving this on the fly as I'm recording it. And I can put it anywhere. So on the OC Go Stream, you can either put it in one corner or this corner, and then you have to pick your size, and that's pretty much it. And as you can, like, look at this. When I go behind this one, it hides it behind it. When I go through my logo, I can do this. So, and if I wanted to kind of like hide it out of the screen a little bit, I can do that. But I'm going to make it about, let's go about this big here. So this just goes to show you how easy it is to use, and it's one of the things I really like about it. And the other thing is the audio amp. So it's got very good audio preamps. So I'm going to activate the webcam, which is right here. I'm going to turn that on. Now this is your control. So this is the multi-view of all of the different camera angles. If I hit the pattern one, that's this guy here, I'm going to show you what that looks like. So that's the pattern. And then if I go back to me, and then if I go back to the webcam, and then if I turn around like this, I can show you, and I know this is all the inputs, and this is how it is. So there's the 2 microphone inputs, there's your headphone, there's a slight delay, by the way, and you can adjust for the delay. This way you don't have it, because you can adjust the delay. So if I go to the microphone, that's your levels on that. So I got that on -23. And I can turn up the music there. That's on 0. You control the music. And then you just hit the menu button, and there you go. It's got a lot of features. Now, what I really wanted to talk about was they're not so intimidating. Now, I know a lot of people have watched other videos on them, and they go through step by step of everything that these things can do. And I think, in my opinion, that kind of makes it worse. So let me just show you some guidelines if you decide to get one of these. Okay, so just take this one off. So on here, you've got all of those inputs that I just showed you earlier. Now, I've got mine labeled. See how this one's labeled? And I'm just gonna zoom in. Let me just activate the webcam. So this one is called webcam. And then I've got one here. Sorry, that's a different cable for charging. HDMI 4, HDMI 3. And then these cables are also labeled the same at the other end of the cameras. That's the nice thing about video switchers, or video mixers as some people call them, is that you don't have to do all of this in post with editing. The biggest thing for me is trying to match all of the audio with the video, because you don't do everything in one take. That's the hard part. If I mess up a line, or if I fumble my words, or I cough, and I don't want that in my video, if I'm doing separate camera takes, once you start chopping those things out and then you try to sync up the audio with matching the other ones, it's when you try to edit all of the problems out that editing in post will be very, very complicated. So I'm not going to tell you that you're not going to do any editing at all in post, but you're going to be enhancing your video. So all of the hard work, all of the base work is here. So for instance, I've got the downward shot there now. I don't have to do anything but hit a button and I can move it around. So in my other one, if I hit the other picture in picture, and oh, I'm moving the wrong one. See, there you go. I'm going to hit this one, and then I can move this over here. So if I want to put myself over there, I can, if I don't want to block my shot. And then I can put this one here. Sorry, my main camera, I've got some sun in the background and it's causing a dynamic issue. So anyways, it's fixing itself. It's good that way. Now, I've got the backup recording on the Cloner Alliance Box Pro, so that should I not record on here, or let's say, and I'm just going to go to the downward shot. Let's see. Okay, so take this one off. Whoops, wrong one. So let's say I want to play something through the video switcher, but I don't want to lose my recording, because if I stop recording on here, well, that's it. But this is where this one comes in. It's still recording. So there you go. So you see this one here. I've got other logos set in here, and then I've got my other logo, blue collar guy. See the blue collar guy going in and out of the corner? So you put those in through what they call a PNG file. So if you're not familiar with that, there's converters you can get on Google Play Store. So you just put in your JPEG file and then you convert it to PNG. And by the way, if you try to put a JPEG file in here, it could cause it to glitch. So don't do that. So just make sure it's a PNG file, and then you can adjust your logo. So let's say I want to adjust that logo more, and I just hit logo, and then I click on it, and then I click there. There's my blue collar guy. I can make it, I can adjust it here. I can adjust this, I can move it around, so easy. There you go. Try doing this in post, you know, if you even have the software. And see how it goes behind the other one, the breaking news one? So I'll just leave that one in the corner. And I just hit this. That's how it stops it. And then this one here, if I hit the button, then I can move it around too. So I can say, breaking news, we have a video mixer. So you can add that one too. So if you have any new information, and that's how that works. So I'm just showing you the features that I think you as a YouTuber would find very useful. And one is your logo. You want to have your logo on the screen in case, let's say somebody else is trying to copy your content and stuff. Well, that's burned into the video. So they would have to crop that in, and that's going to cause them some problems. Let me just move my camera angle here a little bit, because I'm kind of leaning in. And I can do all of this on the fly without affecting my audio. Now, I'm just going to show you what these buttons here do really quickly. So as I hit one of these, I can control the volume up and volume down. This one here is called Audio Follows Video. So let's say you're doing a podcast and you have different microphones hooked up to different people through those cameras. Then as you switch from different people, it's going to mute all the other microphones and just focus on the ones where that camera is focused on. So I'm looking into this camera here. You would just get the audio from this camera if that camera was activated, and that's what audio follows video. But I don't do that because I want my audio to come through the DJI Mic 3, which is right here. And that's where my audio is being fed in through the wireless microphone into the back of the switcher. Pretty simple. So as you put in each input, you're going to do it one at a time, and then you're going to test it. And that's how the pros do it. You test your signal flow. Make sure all of your things are labeled. So this way your cables are labeled, and you'll know which one goes to which camera. Because as you can see, after you get them all hooked up, kind of looks like a spaghetti mess. And there's not much you can really do about that. But you've got 5 inputs. So don't forget you have the auxiliary too. I'm not using number 1. I save number 1 for, I can put a Chromecast on here, and let's say I want to show something that I found on the internet. I can do it on here, and I can put that in there. But I don't have that one hooked up right now. I just wanted to show you the simplest version. But this little joystick here is amazing. Like, I'm basically playing through with my other screen there, and you know, I can have this on there. And let me just see something here. I'm just going to check. There we go. So I just took something off on the other screen. So I have a preview screen that's on the other side, and I'm going to just show you what that means. So let's just go through this so that it's not intimidating. Okay. Oh, and by the way, I got it set on wipe, which is here, and this is mix. So if I hit mix, it fades, and if I hit wipe, you get this. I like wipe because let's say I wanted to have 2 at the same time. I can do that just by going like that. You can kind of see me and that will come in handy if I do this. So here's me. So now I've got 4 pictures going at the same time. So this is your preview screen here, right there. And this is your program screen. This is the screen that we're seeing right now. And then there's all of your settings down here. And then over here, I got my music playing through the Bluetooth through the in. So it looks like it's complicated, but it's not. I've been using these for years, and you know, I'm just going to go back to me really quick. You've got 2 choices to make. One, you can learn your editing software, and you can get really good at adding different cuts in your editing. And you may have to do that anyway, but if you really want something that's just simple to use, if you're the kind of person where you don't make a lot of mistakes, let's say, when you're doing your videos, you don't have to do a lot of retakes, well, maybe you can get away with 1 camera just filming yourself, and that's great. But I find that if you stumble on your words, or you got coughing, maybe you're not feeling well, then as soon as you have to cut a lot of that stuff out, you're going to love one of these video mixers, because when you have to deal with that on top of syncing up your audio, it just makes it a lot more complicated. And then you have to get into things like time code. So if you don't know what time code is, it is an embedded signal that you put in your camera so that when you're doing multiple camera shoots, you can sync up your video with your audio, so this way when you're switching from different camera angles, my lips and the video are still in sync. So in a product review, I usually have something in the downward shot. So let's say I was using this as my product review, and I need to talk about this, and then I need to go back to me, and that's quite often what you'll see in my videos. I'll talk about the device, and then I'll just go back to me, and then I'll make a comment, and then I'll talk about the device, and then I'll go back to me. Now imagine trying to mess with that audio, especially if I had to go back and forth multiple times. That's not going to work out too good. Now I've also got two different camera angles going as well. So what video mixers do is they add professionalism to your videos automatically. So if you've seen some of the people that do live stream videos, they do that because watch time hours just pay more. They do. Now, I don't do like live stream videos myself, but I have the equipment to do it. So the things that I like about this product that are better than my other video switcher, and I just want to be clear, I'm not knocking the OC Go Stream. It has served me well. But this one is a noticeable step up. One, this one doesn't have an internal cooling fan, and this one does. And that's a big deal because they run hot. You're running a lot of horsepower into these machines for your video editing. The other thing is that I've noticed is that the microphone preamps in here seem to be not as good on the OC as they are on the CineTreak S1. And they're also, you can adjust them a lot easier. I also was able to get my headphone feed easier than I could on here as well. Having the logos and the picture-in-picture, the dual picture-in-picture, for me was a game changer. Now, I don't use that word lightly, but you know, if I wanted to add the different shot, like to me, that's a game changer. And the fact that I can just hold down the button to move it around because it's in my shot, I can. All right, there we go. And I can turn that one off, and I can go to this one, and now I can move this one. So I can put myself up there. So it's very easy to adjust all of your picture-in-picture settings. And not to mention, like, look, I can make it bigger now if I want to get my other angle. And look, I'm doing both at the same time. So try doing that with another video switcher. That's not going to happen. You know, that in itself is kind of like a special effect. So I think, yeah, there we go. Easy to use, easy to set up, and follow my instructions. Go one input at a time. So you're going to go your HDMI, one for one camera. You're going to set that up, make sure that you get a picture on your screen, and then you're going to go to camera 2 and camera 3, and before you know it, you're going to have this spaghetti wires, but at least you're going to know where they all go and what they all do. And then when it comes to playing with the buttons, see the buttons here, so these buttons are the ones that you're seeing. So right now we're on camera 4, and this one is on the preview screen. There we go. So this is the other, this is the downward shot, and I can turn this one off. And I can add something else in that picture-in-picture if I want to. So this is the other picture-in-picture. And then if I take this one here off, now if I'm going to go to the menu and show you how you can change that, because it's very simple, but I've got to activate the webcam. Menu button, and then we're going to go to picture-in-picture, then I click on that. I'm going to go to picture-in-picture 2, and then it's going to say, so this one here is for the in 2, but that's not the one that I want. I want picture in picture 1, and this is in 3, and then if I change this and I go here, so there's, now I'm changing my feed. So that's my blank feed. So now I've got the auxiliary input. And now I'm going to get out of here. So now I hit menu again, and then I just exit out. And now I go back to me, and then if I hit the picture in picture, now this is my webcam. So that's how you get a different feed on your picture in picture, right? Now if I hold down the picture in picture, I can make it bigger, I can move it around, so I can scroll it, and if I go back to my settings, I can change the size of it too. I'm going to put the picture in picture on here. So here's the size. So now I'm making it bigger, and then I can make it smaller. Right, so you can make it really tiny if you want, and then I can scroll it up here, and I can make it bigger. So this is a very easy to use video mixer. You know, it's not complicated once you get the hang of it. And then I'm going to leave out of here. So I'm going to take this off. So like if you wanted to get 2 different angles, you can. And I'm just going to go back to my main view, and I'm going to change the picture in picture again. So now we're going to go through the source. So I'm going to change my source again, and there we go. Input 3, and then back to me, and there we go. So that's how that works. It's very simple. You know, the OC Go Stream, I learned how to use this, but I find that the CineTreak S1 is a little more intuitive. This company also makes one of those models where it has the built-in screen, but this model works better for me because I like to look at my multi-view on a much bigger screen. So the smaller that built-in screen is, the harder it is to see all of your multi-view. So you don't know if some of your cameras are in focus or out of focus. So let's say this camera wasn't in focus. On a bigger screen, I can notice it better than if the screen was smaller. Now I'm going to show you another thing, and this is the pattern. So you can put pre-programmed patterns on the screen. So I don't know if you've noticed that some places they have like a color pattern or something like this. Well, this one has something similar to that too. So this also gives you a level of professionalism to your YouTube channel. So if you look in the one corner, I've got my logo, and now I've got a pattern, and then I've got this. So I can put that there if I'm getting ready. Let's say I'm preparing something and I just want to talk to you while I prepare it. I can put this pattern on there, and then I can do that. So in a live stream situation, that's what you would use that for. And that's what help you get your, you know, it's kind of like putting the curtain up so that you can get ready for your next shot. So let's say something's going on in here, and I'm doing a live stream. Let's say somebody's walking in the room. Let's say you had a roommate and they just came out of the shower and you didn't want people to see that. And you're doing a live stream, and on YouTube, nudity is not permitted. Well, then what I would do is I would freeze the screen really fast. Instead of having to do the fade to black, you can still hear what I'm saying, and I'd probably have a look on my face like, and then just, freeze the screen, and then away you go. So that is an advantage of having a screen grab. Let me just go to media. Okay, so let me go to media, click on media. So this is the video I'm talking about. They have another video here, and this would be a video that I would play and play. And there we go. So this, here we go. So that's how you play a video while you're recording a video. So I'm recording and playing at the same time. And this is a different video switcher that they have. You can see that, you know, you can see me talking, and you can also see what I'm doing down here. But at the same time, there's a demonstration going on, and that's how that works. So, you know, and I just, you know, I haven't had this video switcher for that long, but the fact that I can figure this out this quickly, you know, it tells how intuitive this is. So, you know, I've got my logo on the other side, I've got this. So this is the level of professionalism that I was talking about before. I was very, very impressed. This is now my main switcher. Until something better comes along, this is it. And am I going to throw this one away? Well, I'm going to probably use this one if I'm out on site and I'm using it someplace else. So I'm going to leave this one in my studio where it's nice and safe and warm and whatever. But this one here, if I'm going to go, like, let's say I want to film a parade and I want different camera angles, I may use that one for that. But this is going to be my main one from this point forward. And I'd really like to thank CineTreak for sending me out this device. You know, I've always had a special place in my heart for these type of video switchers, because they really do streamline your efficiency. They really do. Once you get a video switcher, you're not going to go back. That's it for this video. Take care, be safe at work, and I will see you at the next video. Bye. And by the way, I'm fading to black using the video switcher.